Welcome. Welcome, returning and new subscribers. I am Goddess High Priestess Empress Andala Pantera. Shout out to the members of the channel, Pantera Soul Fam. Welcome all. All right, let me give y'all a few to get notification too. As you can see from the title, Truth Activation, not for the weak. Okay, so if you are sensitive to information that's being provided to you because it doesn't sound comforting, this won't be the message for you. Just let you know that from now, okay? Ooh, Yosemite is pretty. It's beautiful. It just came up. You already know how we get down over here on this channel. If you've been subscribed to this channel, y'all know when we get into this vibe, when I say we, myself, higher self, ancestors, spirit guides, galactic family, cosmic version of self, it's not going to be for those of you who want to be, you know what I'm saying, coddled or whatever. This is why I tell y'all all the time, not all the time, don't come over here looking for a friend. You're not going to find that in me, because a lot of y'all have those type of situations or relationships with friends that you go to talk your shit but never heal, never come up with a solution. So don't ever come over here with that energy. Okay? Respectfully, hi love. Welcome, Ocean Goddess. Welcome, greetings. So yeah, I've been receiving a lot of downloads, symbolism, synchronicity, dreams about the lovely collective. Okay, we will be doing what I would now call a sweep of energy, where I'm going to be removing some people, okay, because the energy has to keep moving and shifting. And if you appear on this channel, if you come across this platform, know that you reached an energy, it's a space of truth activation that would be the catalyst to your transformation, piercing. And when I say piercing, I mean precisely piercing through whatever veil you got over you that's not allowing you to see the truth, and that's also keeping you stuck in whatever cycle you're in. Some of you have been subscribed to this channel for quite a bit now. And if I see a pattern that the same energy from where you started is still there, it has nothing to do with the messages that's being provided to you, but more so the lack of utilization of the information that's being provided to you. Okay? Because you shouldn't be in any space, for that matter, wasting your time or the resources that are being provided to you in order to assist you with your shifts. You feel me? So, yeah. We're going to get into it today, in this moment here. Just don't ever have me see a pattern. Although that is part of my mission, is to break you out of, whatever pattern you're in that blocks you from your truth. But if I see that you're still in that cycle, some of you may not even type in the chat. You feel as though I don't know that you're there, or I know you're there. Either you're watching this on a live or on a replay. It's game time now. No reason for you to be over here and still going through whatever struggles you've been going through, even if that means in the past 25 hours ago, 24 hours ago, 20 hours ago, whatever. Because any change that you make is up to you. How long you take, the amount of time you take to make a change, that's also up to you. But we're not going to tolerate that here. And I'm not going to say go somewhere else because that shit stops now. Exactly. Feel me? So, because all that energy is doing, I've been giving y'all some time to get y'all shit in order, but y'all just taking up space. And I'm real great at cleaning up shit up in here. When that Lilith and Virgo get to moving, it's a different type of cleanup. It's not the channel for you, love. I don't got time for this shit today. Or ever. This ain't the place for society's labels on you. I don't give a fuck about that. Don't even take that shit nowhere else. This planet is rising too high in vibration to still be labeling yourself with these low frequency ass 3Ds energies, and then wonder why you cycling in some shit. Bring that shit over here. That goes to show you how many people are walking around here without a soul, or without a connection to their soul, without a connection to their heart. You can see from the title itself, truth activation, not for the weak. Obviously, you know, the way this dense realm is set up, whenever I go into that frequency, is going to attract a lot of the shit that I'm going to have to literally blaze the fuck up on out of here. Because I'm here to do that too, in the most subtle of ways. But at the same time, you better get in alignment with your maker and ask your maker, should I step up in there? That motherfucker better tell you no. Trust and know anything that gets blocked out of here is getting blocked out of more than just here. Enough been enough. Let me see something. Misusing resources that's designed to help you heal, evolve, transmute whatever pain you got into sovereign power. By watching this type of information and then going somewhere else, watching some bullshit that's literally keeping you out of your entire vessel, away from your soul, away from your heart. Not nourishing you in any type of way with information that's going to assist you with your evolution. Wasting fucking time. Lilith is clearing house for real. So even before coming onto the live, I said, let me go out into the sun, because I know when my energy becomes that dragon type of vessel that just ready to devour every and anything that's in the way. And as I went for a walk, literally coming from the mail room where you receive your messages, right? I see a black and white cat, and it goes by a sign that says LVL 996. A black and white cat walking towards a sign that says LVL, which is basically level 996. Only one more step away that may encompass about 3 steps to a 9. But also the balance between the light and the shadow. That balance comes with putting away or dissolving energies that no longer serve the purpose. Whether it fits for myself or for the collective. In sense of it being for self, that means what I said at the very beginning of this. I'm already aware of energies that have to be removed from this channel. I don't care about the quantity of people on here. I give a fuck less about that. Do not care about how many people are subscribed or members. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm here for the quality of your mind, body, spirit, and soul evolving with this planet, ascending and expanding. You want to stay stuck and your ass want to be in the underworld? I'll see you there too. But motherfucker, this shit's not going to be sweet. Too often, people coming across messages and information of signs and synchronicities over and over and over again and doing absolutely nothing about it. That's that fucking savior complex, that external savior complex, looking for something outside of you to save you. You are the one that has to do that for yourself. Because what I've been seeing within my dream state, dreams have been quite prophetic. I'll see something, it appears the next day, the next lucid moment or two. And I've seen some things about certain people within this collective on now, yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. Because one thing, you're not going to be in my presence wasting time, wasting resources. I tell y'all all the time, I don't give a fuck how long you've been over here. If I see the shit is not changing, you going to have to get the fuck away from me. Because I'm more detrimental to you than helpful. Because all I know to do is pierce the veil and show you the truth. Whether if it's through me verbally telling it to you or sending a sensation to you. There's many ways that information comes across. Some of you pick up on it and shift. Others of you think this shit is a game. A game you're not even ready to play. You don't even have the strength or capacity to play. The stamina or endurance to play. You ain't got that type of time. Do not have that type of time. Because again, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you want to go and waste it, go take that shit somewhere else. Fuck no. You want to go and waste it? This is your last opportunity here on this planet to experience change. Something as simple as experiencing the sun, the moon, the stars, the air that passes through that you can feel, the rain when it falls, the fact that you're breathing, the fact that every step that you take, you're stepping on the ground. There's something beneath you that holds you up so you can keep taking the step moving forward. Y'all take simple shit of that energy for granted. Shit is annoying now. And that's just the beginning. That shows me exactly where else you're taking advantage of things that is literally fucking you up. I'm not even in the mood to be pulling cards right now. Because I'm really in this space of just taking all of that shit up and take the body with it. I don't give a fuck. Because they obviously don't care either, source. So why the fuck should we keep delivering messages and nothing is being done? They're waiting for the next message, and the next message ain't do shit about the very first one that they received. You think that shit goes unnoticed? Some of you already picked up on it, but others of you, there's a reason why I reiterate the usage of certain words and what you're saying. It says a lot about where you at. And don't take this as me being upset, mad, or didn't. Far from it. Far from it. Because even as I get into that energy of disappointment, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. I don't even have to be a reflector in human design. Disappointment happens to all. When you're disappointed, that means there are energies around that have to be fucking removed. And as someone who can see, who is a seer, who can sense things before they arrive, this is a warning. Keep moving the way you're moving. You're not going to find this channel. You're not going to have any access to any of this information coming from this vessel as a messenger. Go wherever else you got to go to get what you got to get. But you won't see this energy. Because there's a lot more information. I'm not going to say a lot more information. The information that has already been provided is in a position of constantly evolving that comes across as more information. But as long as there's energy around that, it is coming off as, you see the way I move with the chat. You say anything that got nothing to do or anything to do with what I'm saying or what this channel is about, you out of here. And you know what that's for? To show you an example of what you do with people around you. When they fucking with your energy, some of you doing this back and forth bullshit, your ass gonna get the fuck up on out of here too. We talked about Saturn and Aries and breaking it down as to what's happening for each of you in your rising sign. And many of you didn't take heed to that. It's obvious. One thing I'm not going to tolerate is cosmic messages that's being relayed to you to assist you and you disregard it. You may not know that I'm aware of who's actually going to take heed to it and who's not. I don't have to know you physically. I can sense the energy. Even if a person is not typing in the chat, I know you're there. Because signs and synchronicities are always showing themselves to me. Some of y'all higher selves come to me in dream states, literally asking for other chances. Keep fucking playing. Keep playing. This ain't no threat. I'm promising you though that you're not gonna be wasting this energy's time or your time anymore. For what? You don't even have to just see this space as a space of solution and resources. There are other things for other situations y'all got going on that you know you can do, and you sitting there. You better go get the fuck up. You know exactly what to do. Stop being afraid of what you have to do and do it. Because sometimes people get, the response of the sweet side, and you do nothing with that shit. Why does it have to get to this point for somebody to shift? Why does something have to happen before you start to get prepared? That's what prepared is, to do it before the situation occurs, and to even more so and better to prevent it from happening. To prevent the storm, prepare yourself, but not in a way of having fear of it. Because what that's going to do is strengthen you with wisdom to actually know which paths to take to literally prevent a storm. In certain situations, you may take that path and it's perfectly destined for you. There may be a storm, but that's part of a test that you personally may have to experience to make you stronger. For whatever karmic reason, you have to clear something out. We could hee hee ha ha over here whenever we want. But once I start seeing and being shown, this one ain't doing shit. Watch. Watch what they about to do. Watch what they about to do. It's gonna show you that they ain't doing shit with anything you've been providing them. Oh, really? Cool. And you see why when you on a spiritual journey, it get real hermitish. Not hermitish. It becomes you in this hermit mode, because it ain't nothing like hermit mode. It is hermit mode. For you to clearly see what's really been beneath the surface that has to be removed, so you can get in alignment with and when the universe turns the wheel and becomes in your favor. It's always been in your favor. But as long as you're not ready to take things on and see it for yourself and make the adjustments yourself, you're going to constantly be stuck. And that shit is by choice. And you want to know what, too? This is quite ideal as to the way this message is coming in now. And it's before the new moon in Cancer. An opportunity for you to clean the slate emotionally, subconsciously. Let go of whatever it is no longer serving you, whether if it's connected to you in your past life, connected to your ancestors, whatever the fuck it is, before this new moon in Cancer. So you're not planting seeds with that toxic energy connected to it, which means you're going to cause stagnancy to the point of no growth in whatever it is that you're planting the seed for. New moon in Cancer speaks of a whole new foundation. Subconsciously, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. A new beginning. But it's the darkest before dawn, ain't it? Literally, the name Alba also means break of dawn. You reach this space and reach this channel because you're in a position in life that you are ready to pierce through the veil and activate truth and go through your transformation, which means there is a possibility that everything you knew you're going to have to leave behind. And in most cases, you come here because there's a part of your mind that you have to leave behind completely. Or what you thought the mind was. You have control over that. But you won't have control over it if you have no connection to your heart. If you can't connect to the resonance of that heart chakra, you just as good as a liquor bottle, a fucking spirit. Leave the old to gain the new. Absolutely. Exactly, Ocean Goddess. Yep. Exactly. Because you can't take that old shit with you into this. Not the way this planet is set up. Mm-mm. And y'all not in the age of Pisces no more. Saturn's not in Pisces either. There's a lot that has shifted that if you even dare. This is why some of you may have known about this channel since 2018. And possibly who some of you have still even done shit about whatever, if it's been since then. Not all of you. But there's obviously some who still in the same shit. And you think you're going to be able to take that shit? You literally got 2 more lucid moments left. If that. Because some of you are literally moving around here on some, I'm going to go to the gym and max out. And you've never been to the gym for at least however long, or have even done an exercise that you talk about that you an expert at. All right. Because you're carrying your old mindset. You may say that, yeah, I can do this, but deep down within your subconscious mind, you still got shit from the past that as soon as you touch that shit, your ass might faint. I don't fucking know. Told you this shit ain't for the weak. Y'all don't got that type of time to be fucking around. Shit, I don't either. The fuck? But you best to believe, know, and trust that when a message is for me, oh, yeah, okay. I'm telling you, I'm real quick to cut some shit out. You ain't got to tell me twice. And let that shit be the type of thing that want to give me a problem. Source, you mean to tell me I could whip this motherfucker ass right here? We could do that, right? I got a Mars and Aries. I'm about that life. You already know what's I ain't gotta touch them, but you know how this mind is set up. Send a motherfucker real quick to go kick some rocks with no shoes or socks on. Keep playing with me. I'm just saying, y'all. Cause this energy, this channel is about to be on a level up. And if I don't care how long you've been here. I sense you want some bullshit. I don't care who you are. You out of here. Cutting shit off is one of my favorite things to do, for real. And with my North Node in the 8th house, it's pretty much destined that way. It's pretty much destined that way. With the North Node in Pisces in the 8th house. Are you fucking kidding me? You really think I can't sense where your spirit and your soul is? I don't need to have a conversation with you. Because the moment I feel as though somebody acting as if they're taking in the information and they're making the adjustments and you've been here for a minute, I'm on your ass now. You about to get grabbed by the back of your pants and thrown out somewhere else. Because it's equivalent to you going into somebody's home and disrespecting their shit. Because me personally, I'm not a disrespectful person when I go into anybody's space. I allow everybody and whatever it is that they do what you do. But I'm not going to come up in your shit disrespecting you. Verbally or not. If I can't get jiggy with what it is that you doing, deuces. You just not going to see me. It's that simple. Don't got time to be wasting. Every breath you take, every action you take should be intentional, and the intent should be love. Anything outside of that, and to come over here in this space and test that energy, you asking to be put on your ass for real. With the truth. Because again, I ain't got to touch you. I don't got to light up no candles or none of that bullshit. And if I ever do some type of work, it's for myself, to clear myself from energy. For whatever reason, it feels it's okay to come up in anywhere around me. That shit could be fucking 20 miles away. Why you here? Why you this close? For what? When you take the moment to sit with whatever it is you have going on that disturbs you from your inner peace, you sit with that, analyze it, give it a solution. You give it a solution. Don't go outside of yourself looking for a solution. Because when you come here, it's not me giving you a solution. It's more so the confirmations that your higher self has already been giving you. Whenever I'm delivering any type of message, it's a confirmation. It's basically you, the version of you that is evolved and ain't taking no more shit from anyone, especially yourself, ain't taking none of that no more, is speaking to you. If you're not prepared or willing to have that conversation with yourself, why are you here? Because I'm really not the energy on the spirit soul level you want to test. Not at all. And I'm not saying that to be boast. Nah. Nah. I know what my mission is, and I know the protection that I have over me and my mission, that anything that gets in the way, I'm going to warn you first. I can at least do that. I feel as though I can be generous enough to do that. And sometimes that warning may come through, you know, in a joking way. And for some, it goes in one ear and out the other until you realize, oh, fuck. And that shit may be another lifetime. But again, that energy of clearing out the lesson the next lifetime, it's not what y'all think it is. It's not you coming back to this earth, because the same way people are talking about that they don't want to come back here, it's because they haven't learned their lesson. They literally came here for soul evolution and want to leave because the lesson's too hard. You asked to come here to begin with. You decided from your oversoul and said, that's the family, that's the mother, that's the father that's gonna really give me the seasoning, the sazon to really, you know what I'm saying, do what I have to do. Then you come here, obviously, you know, there are different rules and shit. It ain't laws, because it's universal laws, and then you got man's rules. But you come here into man's rules, being lured into other shit that ain't got nothing to do with your mission, just for you to, part of the test is for you to remember what you came here for to begin with. Yeah, I've done that shit too, talking about I ain't coming back here until I sat with the word and I said, wait a minute. Wait, nah. Because I'm not one to live by the energy of there's nothing new under the sun. There isn't, because people keep repeating the same shit. If every day is made new, and there's nothing new under the sun, that shit ain't adding up. That math ain't mathing. And why is that? Because those who awaken to their Christ consciousness, crystallizing that energy of their soul in alignment to their physical body, you'll recognize that every lucid moment is made new. But until then, you're going to keep yourself in this cycle. And of course, nothing is new under the sun is going to be your motto in life. But as a messenger and the mission that I came here for, remember the beginning. Truth activation and piercing through the veil. We're not here to be friends. I don't have those. I don't want that shit. Not here for that. Friends are strung up on liking each other. Not here for that like shit. Give me the original. I don't want something like nothing. Give me the original. Where's the authentic version? Where's the love at? Connect me to that. Bring me near that. That's what I'm attracted. That other shit, that like, the friends, nah. That's a lesson waiting to happen. I already took that test. Y'all can keep that shit. I don't want it. not here to take part in this shit that society and lifetimes and generations and cycles have been doing over and over and over. To the point that you got these energies that are allowed to put things into the media that'll fuck up someone's emotions. 44 on the timer. I don't got time for that shit no more. I don't subscribe to that information. Not saying that, you know, not disregarding anybody who's unfortunately in that dimension, but I'm not subscribing to that shit. I'm not going to sit here and say, because as long as humans do not understand, understand, overstand, to have an understanding that what you're feeling is creating more of this shit, that's when nothing new under the sun will continue to be nothing new under the sun. Giving these motherfuckers the opportunity to fuck with people's emotions and shit. But at the same time, people allow that as well. So in terms of overall looking at this from a bigger picture and clearing out the energy, going back to the portion of when you were in the position of your oversoul and you chose to have a certain experience, yes, there are certain spirits that came here to regain their soul, to go through that experience, to come up with a different solution or reaction to whatever it is that they're going through, wherever they're located, wherever their spirit or their soul lands. But now here's the thing. You see how there's the evolution and the ascension of the planet, frequency-wise, and how it's being called the new Earth. It's not gonna have any of that shit where literally, yes, people may be in the same location. Basically, it's the best example I can give you is an isolated thunderstorm when you're speaking of the two Earths. One side is gonna be experiencing storms while the other side sunny and bright. You'll have energies and isolated bullshit while you have others living their life. And in the same block or the same area, literally right across from each other. How often do you see that happen? Isolated thunderstorms. But people just look at it as, oh, it's just the weather. No, that's an example of the two Earths that are happening energetically or physically as well, because you can see that happening. You can see where there's a storm in one location and where it's sunny in another. You can physically see that. So if we take this to a micro level and the experiences that you got going on in your life, you see these people that want to call about some drama or some bullshit, those are the isolated thunderstorms you need to decide on blocking or not answering. Because don't nobody got time for that shit. If you do, you keep your isolated thunderstorm ass out there. The best example I can give you right now. Tell you, we could laugh and joke it up over here, but yo, do not fuck with this energy, yo. Don't play with me. Don't play with me and act as if I'm not gonna see you. It gave me a thought about patience too, earlier today. Where people take people's patience, they take advantage of that. And case in point, I'm real patient with people and their evolution until I'm not. Until I'm not. Because again, it is up to you to decide from this emotion to that emotion. That line is there, but that shit is invisible. You just gonna have to decide by the work that you've put in. When it comes to your inner peace, you gonna have to decide, depending on how much strength that inner peace has, you're gonna have to decide which side you're gonna take. You gonna entertain the fucking drama that you're not getting paid for, or you gonna go about your business. The only time you drama should be in your life is if you a paid fucking actor or actress. Let it be that. But if you got people around you stressing you out, just know you willingly got motherfuckers around you stressing you the fuck out. Take it from me. All you gotta do is make a choice. And sometimes you gotta put things into plan. If you're gonna plan something, make sure that plan is in motion. Don't plan and then just sit there and just wait for a fucking savior. And meanwhile, your subconscious mind is still in that position where the plan hasn't even been written or thought of, where you trying. That's what trying is. When you trying to do something that you're actually doing, you're in a phase where you haven't even put the plan into motion, or the plan is not even nowhere near you, but you're doing something and you're saying that you're trying to do it. You then at that point you ain't doing shit. Look at the etymology of the word. It's connected to trial. You know what I'm saying? Granted, you got that also connected to the number 3. But then it's also, when we look at it from that perspective with the TRI or the number 3 and it's TRY, it's basically you questioning your divinity. Why am I divine? On some weak shit when you trying to do something. And the more you question it, the longer you sit in that question of disregarding your divinity, questions that are more connected to you disregarding your divinity, you gonna keep aligning with those who gonna test the fuck out of you, as they should. Because energetically, that's what you're connecting to. A lack of divinity. So there you have it. I just don't want anybody over here wasting their time. If you're not going to utilize the resources and get the fuck far away from here. That's all I'm going to say. Get away from here. Okay? Because all it is that you'll be activating is transformation. And let's get some imagery for you. Let's do that. Let's get some imagery. We're gonna go 9 to 15. 9 to 15 major arcanas. Let's go from 8. Nine to 15. Okay. 8 to 15. 8, 9, 8, 9, 10. Just this. Hangman. literally when the information here is not being used or misused, you're in this void between the hangman and the death card. It's a sucky place to be, I'm gonna tell you that. When you're in a position to energetically connect to the catalyst that's going to help you to get to 13 transform, so you can step into the position of being the alchemist of that situation. What is the alchemist? One who can turn lead into gold, one who can turn something out of nothing. Okay. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So based off the major arcanas, you are provided with strength, okay, to see that you have the power, enlightenment in your hands, but you're going to have to go to the highest of points and the lowest of lows energetically, because this is speaking to the hermit being on the mountain. However, this light that this hermit has in its hand, it's really more so connected to you being in the abyss and seeing it from a higher perspective, by seeing that your reality is in your hands. Literally, palm, lamp, play around with the word, you'll see where this is going. Once you are able to utilize the strength that you're being given to go into this moment of solitude, to really see what's going on, you're now connecting with divine order, the universe, that's going to literally possibly place you into a stormy event or something that has to be balanced out for you to gain clarity. Now, through this gaining of clarity, you're also noticing the mental strength that you have to get through adverse moments. Then this leads to you possibly being in an uncomfortable position where you feel as though, okay, I've done the work with the strength to go to the depths of the situation, but something still feels a little off. Something still feels a little uncomfortable. In this phase, this is when the final parts of a situation that was keeping you stuck can come up. And until you do the final clearing, you'll be in this uncomfortable position. However, it's an inverted position. There's a release of the spine. So in this position is where you are actually connected to, let's say you're gaining more information or resources about what's going on with the energy inside of you, basically learning about the chakras or whatever systems you want to connect to, that allows you to see internally, it allows you to see internally what's going on and to even have the verbiage to connect to it. So that way you can have a better solution or see the solution clearer. Once you do that, here comes this moment, the transformation. Whatever it is that you study during this uncomfortable moment, for some of you, an example of an uncomfortable moment, you're going through a situation, my channel comes up on your feed, you receive information that gives you clarity, that helps you to see it from a higher perspective, because this is also connected to the number 3. So it connects you to your higher self, the ascended master of yourself, where it's basically confirming something for you that you already knew, but you just had to hear it from somewhere without feeling misjudged rather. Because judgment means to make a decision. And whatever this is that had you in this position, had you stuck because there was a decision you still had to make before you can go through the transformation. Now this transformation occurs, where now you're seeing your power, where now you're seeing where there was a misuse of power. Now you're seeing you have a certain level of intensity when it comes to your emotions, but you didn't see the value of that. And now you're placing that into situations that don't serve you. So it has to end. But all of that shit got to end before you get here, which is the alchemist. Because notice what's after this alchemist here, this temperance energy. You have to learn how to temper yourself. After all of this shit here, I mean, this would be the process of you tempering yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Gaining the strength, seeing that you can do something, being able to have the ability to analyze, but not overanalyze. What type of habits does one have that's keeping you in a situation that is not balanced, so that way it can be balanced out? And then once you are able to analyze that, you can get on the wheel, you can connect to divine order. Basically, you having faith that all things will be well, or all things are well, so that way things can be balanced out in your favor. And while things are being balanced out in your favor, that may include you disconnecting from people or situations or vice versa that don't align with your true identity of who you are, which will then place you in a position to have to reevaluate what it is that you believe in. Because what you believe in connection to your sacred values cause you to make the decisions that you would make to begin with. Notice that after this, you have this death card, and we're talking about beliefs. This is the death card, but the figure of death is riding the white horse, which is a representation of Christ's consciousness. Which means you are willing to rise above just the basis, the root of it. Because when we're looking at this death card, we're also talking about Scorpio energy, which is connected to the genitalias. So you're willing to release the cravings of the flesh to evolve. And that evolution allows you to attain the power to become the alchemist, to whom much is given, much is required. Also in a position of gaining your wings, where you're able to see what is it from your roots, your ancestors, that is also connected to your purpose. Because this is also the moon energy in the background. Is this the moon? We can give it the moon, the sun, whichever. But we're going to mention both. Okay? I mean, it is giving more of the sun energy, but I just know from the moon card it has more of that type of feature. But anyway, in this position of Temperance, Sagittarius, you're also seeing clearly what it means to be God. Because this is Sagittarius card, 9th house energy, or higher levels of education, where you are now seeing yourself as the I am that I am. But obviously there are things that had to end that were telling you otherwise. Or else you'll remain here, right in between here. Whatever the fuck it is that's right in between here, until you recognize that energy of the I am that I am, you'll be right in between here. Which will constantly have you in a cycle of a circle and not really connecting to the cosmic rhythm that is as above, so below, as within, so without. That spirals. It doesn't go in a circle. The shit spirals. Which means it is ascending, but also expanding. Because all of that is required before you get to this final test here. Where the life you lived, or the devil, things that kept you in this sense of bondage, comes right back around. But remember, you went through all of this here, right before that, to have the temperance, the ability to change, see things from a different perspective with strength and precise analytical gifts to move beyond anything that keeps you in bondage. Now, gratefully, for you as a human collective, humanity in general. After that, if you choose not to do it, there's a tower moment. That tower moment literally is everything being swept from beneath your feet. You feel as though you're drowning. Well, that's also the universe protecting you, but you may not see that clearly. All you'll feel is that things are out of balance. Although you were taken through all of these steps way before that to get you to see, this is where you at now. This is the lesson that's happening before you get here, because you can go from this devil card all the way to the judgment of making a decision to close out the cycle. And when you actually close out that cycle completely, you go through the journey again, but not the same journey that you were in before. Because even when you look at the Fool card, right? Although it's the first of the major arcanas, it may look fresh in energy or very new in energy, but you could also see that it has a bit of wear and tear, so much so that it said, you know what? Fuck whatever that was in the past that wasn't serving me. I'm only going to take what is beneficial to me, take this leap of faith and start this new journey. That's literally what that Fool says. Not the foolish, the fool. Where you at, boo? We just did the journey, basically, of the major arcana just now. Starting off with the Fool. You see your boy sleeves, as if that dog been chewing it up for a bit on the journey beforehand. But what's right after the Fool? Taking the leap of faith into becoming the alchemist. This is a prime example of to whom much is given, much is required. But you have to first decide that you have the willpower and that you can do this. It's a test of will. Yellow, solar plexus. That's why to use this type of modality for other shit, low vibrational shit that keeps one in the root and the sacral, it's a misuse of it. For real, for real. Granted, information may come out of that nature, but when you have an awareness of the symbolism and the power that is connected to this as well, because it's instilled within you, the messages are much different. Much different. And there's an alignment of the mind, body, spirit, and soul. And you're connecting with the divine, being able to be open and receptive of the communication coming from the divine. 3 of Cups, Mercury and Cancer. Communication, Cancer, mother, nurturing. Your ancestors, more so cosmic ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Before this janky ass, dense world that it's become. It wasn't always this way. No, it wasn't. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Does anyone have any questions? Pertaining to what we have discussed so far. Knight of Pentacles. Virgo. Slow and steady. What about this? King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Well, Taurus could be significant. Finances or work could be of significance here because this also speaks to co-workers or work energy. But this is also about something that's unfolding, but unfolding slowly. The High Priest, the Hierophant. Because right before that, all I heard was hurry up. It's coming through as you've had more than enough time to recognize your value. What habits do you have are not connected to the truth of your worth? Where are you investing your energy that you are to be in putting that energy elsewhere in something that's going to help you to make the appropriate changes effortlessly? But where you're putting, investing your energy, it's causing stagnancy in your life. For some of you, this could have something to do with something you want to study. Or something you want to do that you may have to take some sort of course or certification for. But you're investing your time and money and energy on something that keeps pulling you away from that. We have the Star card here, which is Aquarius, groups. There's something you're here to do that's going to require a change of habits. One of those habits mainly has to do with you possibly people pleasing and no longer doing so. Because you have a much bigger mission on your life, collective. Literal star seed, a cosmic ancient energy. You ain't come out here to be everybody else. You didn't come out here to compete. You came here to be just as authentically and uniquely designed as you were in the beginning. Meaning before you came here. Some of you are drawn to certain philosophies or belief system that's the key to help you to unlock this. Piece by piece, it's been happening too. And as you do so, it's also helping you to heal your subconscious mind. Which means the more you connect your eyes, which is an extension of your brain, to this information as you're looking at it, which is also why you have to be mindful as to what it is you're feeding your eye gates. Okay? Become the keeper of your senses, the gates of your senses. So that way you're not allowing things to enter that are not beneficial to you. Seven of Wands. Because whatever this is just as protected as a child is. When I mean the protection a child has, it's protected by angels, source. Nothing is going to get in the way of that. Protection of the inner child. Mars and Leo. Knight of Cups. A lot of knights showing up. Mutable energy. Are you willing to adapt? Are you willing to change? Whatever this habit is, it keeps coming across as you telling somebody you have time to do this and you have time to do that, when it's a waste of time. Waste of time and value. Yeah, a 5 and a 7, was that 12? It keeps you in a position that's possibly stuck. You see exactly what's happening, but you may be taking a little bit longer than expected to give the answer your soul and your heart is guiding you to give, but you're going with your ego, which is not even in connection to any of your chakras, let alone the root. Missing a red light. Seven of Cups, another 7. Something seems to be getting in the way of your purpose here. If this has to do with the relationship, Venus and Scorpio, you would be the type of energy that when you enter a relationship, it's because it matches the level of intensity when it comes to you desiring to be in a situation or a relationship that transforms your soul. But with the Two of Wands showing up here, it seems as though you're in a rush to do something when you really should slow down. Because it feels as though you want to you want to be in a relationship so badly, literally badly, that you disregard the protection that is over you as to why something is moving at the pace that it's moving, for you to go in a different direction. And this different direction is connected to a higher level of commitment. Something could be moving slowly or not at all because it's not of a higher level of commitment. You have more options than you can see clearly. But it's not being presented to you because that vibrational match of a higher level of commitment, actual commitment, is connected to you having that inner peace and loving yourself unconditionally and not seeking it external to you first, or half-assing the unconditional love you have for yourself. And because you feel as though, oh, you're ready, when you're not, you enter into another relationship that literally fucks you up because you want to rush the process. You don't know how to be alone. You don't know how to get in that hermit mode solitude where it allows you to declutter whatever energy that's stuck there that's going to keep coming back until you remove it. Some of you don't sit with yourself long enough to I'm not even gonna say sit with yourself long enough, because some of you are sitting with yourselves long enough, but that's still not doing the work. It's still not accomplishing the goal that is at hand when it comes to you having that full cup that overfloweth when it comes to unconditional love for yourself. How does that appear? The moment you feel lonely, that's just an indication or a signal you still got work to do. Because remember in the beginning of mentioning something as simple but grand, because it's assisting with the longevity of life, such as the sun, the moon, the air, the water, the ground that you walk on. Embracing that as love on a daily, the way you want to experience that with somebody else. Now imagine you being in a unconditionally loving, higher level of commitment that is symbolic or also connected to you sharing or having gratitude of being able to feel the air or the wind when it blows on your skin. The fact that when you're walking, there's something underneath your feet that holds you up so you can keep taking steps moving forward. It's so easy to complain about what you don't have, and notice how quickly that expands, and not using the muscle and the energy to grow in other areas that are truly connected to blossom in abundance. This is why you have these energies of true high priestesses and hierophants, divine feminines, divine masculines to themselves. You just, it'll be hard to find unless you were a vibrational match to that. Because it's an energy that does not have time for the bullshit. It doesn't even attract it to have time for it. When you have your lesson of what isn't a divine feminine, divine masculine, you better learn that first time. Especially if you over here. To keep investing your energy and going back with bullshit that is not of that alignment because you choose to. I told you at the beginning, we doing inventory check over here. If the energy is not aligned, I don't care how long you've been here, whether if you had a reading with me in the past, it doesn't matter. If the energy is not aligned with the frequency that this energy has evolved to, you're getting blocked. Because we will be making room over here for energies of a higher vibration. Quality love, not quantity. For real. Welcome, love. Queen of Wands under the Hierophant. Wow. For some of you, that is literally part of your life purpose, to commit to a higher level of commitment, sacred values, and protecting your energy away from anything else that is not of that. You don't realize that part of the reason you're here on this channel as mentioned previously, is that these messages are a reflection of the conversation your highest self has been having with you. And this is just a confirmation. You're here for a purpose and a mission that is here to uplift the planet. Where some of you are supposed to be traveling, going from one location to another just to bring forth that energy that upgrades that grid where you're at. And you're worried about, I don't know, them children's school, this, that, or whatever. You better get on your mission. Your children will understand. But if you present the energy of that lack and the I don't know, and they come from you, guess what? You're not going to move. Or if this has to do with, I don't want to leave my family, this, that, or what. So you're going to risk not making these adjustments, lowering the frequency of yourself and your loved ones because you're not following your mission, especially if you are a grid worker, grid keeper, uplifting the energy of this planet. And you wonder why this person that you love is going through this person's going through that, and then because the power source, the one that carries that energy, is too close to these people without placing that energy in other places as they were intended to when they came here. Because that's literally the message I got from here, is that you don't realize how significant it is for you to be in the truth of who you are. Aries, Queen of Wands, the I am that I am. Where so much of the world has to see who you are. But you're stuck in the box. It's time for you to step out of that. It's coming through as you can do way more. Yeah, literally. Some of it is something about world travel here. World communications. Global. Yeah. Literally working with the planet. To bring balance to it. 3 and 8, 11. Helping to close off. Because some of you legit hold codes that is, again, assisting the planet in its upgrade. And if you're not taking heed and answering that call, you're going to feel as though you're getting washed out. The same way your body does what it has to do to flush out whatever is doing too much and it shouldn't even be there, is the same way the planet going to move with you, basically. Because you're here to get it done. That's the truth. Ace of Swords. Even when it comes to the younger generation as well. Because a lot of the younger generation, Pluto Sag, Pluto Capricorn, especially Pluto and Capricorn, they not gonna give a fuck about anything you got to say. And they're the type to just do more than enough with just a little. But they're also connected to the elders. They're young, but they're part of the group of being the elders. Pluto and Capricorn generation. Ugh. If you have a child that is born during that Pluto and Capricorn, basically 2008 to about now, yeah. Between 2008, 2015, you know what I'm talking about. You see how they move. Unless you, as their parent, are moving in a different way that has them forgetting their mission. Because some of them may move in a way where you feel as though, who the fuck does this child think they talking to? But then at the same time, fuck, you right. Mm-hmm. Or some of them could be, you know what I'm saying, a bit quiet, but they're very observant. And they pierce right through that veil for you. Don't play with that generation. If you are fortunate enough, look at this shit. Because some of you, that they're helping you to literally resurrect yourself out of whatever reality that this deception of the age of Pisces, because of a certain belief system you had. And most people, honestly, because of reading certain religious texts, literally are fucked. Because I tell you one thing, those that are in a position that are considered wealthy based off of finances, the schools that they send their children to, they not doing the fucking type of algebra majority of humanity and their children is doing. I have a serious question, which is 8844 on the time. I have a serious question. This shit is funny. I thought about this just last night. I said, hold the fuck up. I need to ask because I don't recall doing this shit. With your finances now, unless you're scrolling through social media or some shit, this is the only time you may see this where you have to figure out a math problem. And if you don't know the rule of PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Unless you see some shit that has to do with a trivia question, have you used that once for your fucking finances? Ever? Have you ever had to calculate or reevaluate your books, your money with, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally? Because Aunt Sally, you're fucking excused at this point. You can leave. Because I said, hold up. And notice the confusion that occurs until you recognize, you know, what the problem is and how to get to the solution. That shit is, it confuses a person if they don't know the rule. But again, here you go. You come into this world of universal laws, but then you get misconstrued and lured in by man's rules. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Look at that, Kansas. Ooh wee. Listen. I thought it was just me, Evie, because I said, well, hold up. I ain't never once paid for some shit and used that rule. So for most of the year, you're learning some shit that you'll never really use. Could have been doing some other shit with all that type of time. I don't even think, because I'm not the type of scientist that's in the lab working with medicine. I don't think they even use that shit, really. There may be exponents, multiplication, division, but then again, see what the fuck happening here? Even when it comes to that level of, as to them using that, they're still not targeting the root of the problem. Because if everything that is used is based off the golden ratio 1.618, it'll get to the root of the problem real quick. All this other extra shit they got going on, it's helping people to connect with, oh, I have this, I have that, I have it. Now that I have is your second house. That's Taurus energy, that's Venus. The more what you say you have and it's not connected to what it is that you desire, there goes the solution to your problem. Stop just telling yourself you have this and you have that and it's nowhere near connected to your desire. If your desire is a clean paper sheet bill of health, stop saying you have whatever the fuck diagnosis they done told you about. Especially in this energy that we are in right now. Where everything you say will come to reality. This is literally saying, take your time and watch what you say. Take it easy. Pause for a moment and process your thoughts. See, some of you are so gifted and your mission is so strong that you will literally have people come into your space to distract you. But because you lack inner peace, you sitting here doing this back and forth with something that you can literally wipe out if you connect with the truth of who you are, what you came here to do. But as long as you locked into that program, that shit is not going to glitch out. It's going to have you glitching out your purpose. The what? The Trachtenberg system? What is that? All I saw there was keeping people off track at that point. I ain't gonna hold you. What I saw the most was trachea, which would literally take one's voice away, or clarity of truth through confusion. What the fuck? Because no lie, when I saw the way, this was a while back, my niece and nephew had math homework, and I saw the way they were being taught math. I said, are you fucking kidding me? This shit is worse than PEMDAS. It just got even more confusing. I said, y'all gotta be kidding me right now. This can't be real. It's a difference to do math. I feel that's should be. I don't. Queen of Cups. $7.44. Queen of Cups and the King of Swords. Cancer, Aquarius showing up here. Aries, Virgo. There's a lot of people. Virgo, Aries, Cancer, Aquarius. Let me get one more, see what this story is. Coming up under here. The Chariot. Moving forward with precision. Let's see. Wow. Okay. Your main focus right now, as it is in the center of what you should have, is the truth and the knowing of your identity. Hierophant, Taurus I have, Queen of Wands, Aries I am, King of Swords, Aquarius I know. Your main focus right now of what you should have is the knowing of your identity. Standing solid, standing your ground when it comes to you knowing who you are, not based on what you were told by those who connected to a belief, a way of knowing, a belief that was not connected to a way of knowing. They just believed it without knowledge of it. I'm saying that to this in speaking of the Queen of Cups holding the Holy Grail. Without knowledge of that Holy Grail, people just believed in whatever they believed in, which took them away from seeing the I am that I am within themselves, the Christ consciousness within themselves. Now, the reason why you're being asked to have a focus of knowing who you are and your identity, because it's going to require you to stand your ground in your truth and living independently in doing this, possibly alone, but by trusting the mental clarity that this knowledge and this knowing and this willpower does give you. Because it will also help you to sever situations that are not in connection to what you can do and the correct usage of your willpower with Mars and Leo. And if you are disconnected from that solar plexus energy, this is going to have you lacking confidence. That's going to also connect you to your mental clarity. The fact that you do have that confidence will help you to rise into the heart chakra, speak your truth, and to see things clearly. Nine of Pentacles, that's Venus and Virgo, which means knowing when to stop when it comes to assisting or providing a service or being of help to someone or something. 748. Chariot, Emperor, Strength. Because the only way you'll be able to move forward with strength is by knowing who you are. And this movement forward has to be precise. You can't be, I don't know. You got to be sure and go with it. That's trusting your intuition. Your protection, once again, as mentioned earlier, is something moving slowly, because you may be presented with many options, but none of them is the Holy Grail. None of them will possibly, although there are many options, still isn't one that is connected to you, mind, body, spirit, and soul. Because after this Seven of Cups, with this Queen of Cups showing up here, is given the Eight of Cups, which means you're going to have to walk away from something that no longer serves you, that you may have been investing in for a long time. Where you hear slow and steady wins the race, but this slow and steady is more so slow and steady and go nowhere. And then you have two cardinal signs, which is about taking the lead. Taking the lead. Cancer and Aries. You have to trust what you feel. Especially when it comes to standing your ground. Show me what is this? Standing your ground when it comes to what? What's the seven? Why is the Seven of Wands here? Previous message where the Seven of Wands was in the middle of the Nine of Swords. Wow. the Nine of Swords, Page of Cups, Seven of Wands. Then it was the Six of Cups and the Knight of Swords, where something was rushing in from the past that already had you in this position of losing sleep, anxiety. Focus on what's happening next without allowing yourself to be present. That message, that part was very significant for me to remember the order that it was in, or recall it at this moment. What about that? Remember, recall. It's being recalled because it's remembered, in terms of the pieces being remembered, being brought back together. Judgment card or resurrection. Let me see them. What's the Seven of Wands? The Eight of Cups. Your ancestors literally put a stop to something because you have to walk away from it. Slow and steady and no movement. Slow, steady to no movement. This is evident of something that you're giving your energy to, and it's not in a position to grow. There could also be an energy here where you have a plant around you that may not be growing at this time because of an energy that you're still connected to. And once you release that, it begins to grow. They're showing me the part in that film Intergalactic where he was given a worry plant and it only grew when he was worried. But for you here, collective, this plant grows when you are away from stagnant energy, or you notice it blossoms even more as you're coming out of a situation. And when you go back into a situation, it loses its energy to grow. Five of Swords, yeah. Whatever this is you're in your head in, because before that card came out, I was looking at this, and what I was getting from this is they are aware of what's being told as the truth in regards to where they're putting all of this energy, calling on spirit, calling on their ancestors to fix this and to fix that, but that shit is done and over with. Ain't no fixing it. Just leave it alone. Saturn in Pisces. It could be 29, 30. Or something in regards to 29, 30, if you're past that age, is what you're being asked to really cut the cord from. And when you're cutting a cord from something, if it attempts to trigger you or have you moving funny, it's because you're still connected to it. If you're not connected to it, it's not pulling from you, it won't affect you. Now we have the King of Cups. Well, that certainly aligns with this Queen of Cups here. But the Queen of Cups is facing away from this entire spread. And what they're showing me here is that the Ace of Wands. Wow, okay. That's going to be significant. When it comes to this Queen of Wands in the center, this is the collective in the center. Who we're talking about right now? The collective in the center. Not trusting what they feel. When what they feel is already moving away from this situation, has already moved away from this situation. Yeah, speaking of that Scorpio energy with the Seven of Cups, being in a situation where you want to give this level of intensity and emotion to soul transformation type of love, but it's something you're connected to that doesn't even have a soul. It's just a spirit. You know what I'm saying? Infinite gratitude, sacred scale said, let me go be productive because I will snap you back into alignment so quick with the confirmation. Listen, you get the confirmation that you've been looking for, receive it. You ain't got nothing else to hear over here for real. That's a fact. Just go and do what you got to do. That's it. Real talk. Some of you are being protected from a Scorpio. Or that type of intensity. False intensity. Six of Swords, literally being pulled away from it. You could be seeing a lot of crows. 757 could be significant. They brought me back to seeing that cat and by LVL 996. Before you can get to 999, there's something you have to resolve by letting go, because you're in the position of at least getting to that 144 so you can move beyond that, going beyond non-duality, where now you're connected to your oversoul that's more so in connection to the version of you as it was in the beginning before you entered this world, being in it but not of it. But you came into it being in and of it. So now you're being rewired, recalibrated out of it. What else? It went right over to the Seven of Cups. If this ain't a fucking confirmation, what y'all think this card is? I'm gonna give y'all. Let's see what you think. What do you feel came out that just now with that message? Test your intuition now. What do you feel came out of that deck? And there's no right or wrong answer, because whatever you chose, there's a reason why you chose that too. So that's going to be significant as well. But what do you feel came out just now? Hold on. My bad, y'all. Let me see. Okay. I'm loving these answers. I love the answers. So here's what I would say, because y'all just read for yourself right there. That's what I said. There's no right or wrong answer. So with you choosing Eight of Wands or Death, you're ready for a transformation. And you're more than prepared for this reawakening, this rebirth, literal rebirth with Ace of Wands and the Death card. With you choosing the Devil in this position, this could be a test you're going through at this moment. where you have to make a decision of staying in something you feel that it's keeping you in bondage, but you also know I got to get the fuck up out of here. Okay, this could be a job, a relationship, or a connection you have with someone. With the Tower, you're also ready for a change, a sudden change, but it's making you a little nervous with the Tower, because all that electricity, you know it's a sudden change, but what type of sudden change is just nah. Let me see. Five of Wands reverse came to mind. I love that. Okay. With the Five of Wands reverse, you're no longer putting yourself in a position to have anyone feel that you are in a competition, or to allow people in your space that want to compete, or just not allowing yourself to be in a position where you know that there's a lack of support, but still wondering if you should, still give it a chance. With it being in reverse, you're willing to go towards your victory, even if that means by yourself. However, the card that came out, y'all, is the Queen of Cups. But none of y'all were right or wrong. That was just, what you came up, what you felt. And I love that. We're gonna do that more often. That was pretty dope. So the Queen of Cups is here, and she's also here. And remember what we said about her earlier. The Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is here. I love that. The Nine of Pentacles would be that you are ready to be independent. You're ready to enjoy being single, actually be single, where you're not physically or metaphysically, spiritually, or so connected to people anymore. Whatever this is that it's time for you to walk away from, doesn't matter how deep and intense the emotion may have been. So all the messages all the cards that y'all chose, those are messages in itself, But I would say for the one that chose the Devil, honey, let me see something. Hold up. Trust your dreams. Your dreams have already been giving you the answer. You've been receiving a lot of messages and signs from your dreams. And if you haven't been dreaming, that's a different story, where it's seriously time for you to recalibrate yourself, because that just shows you are really far away from your spirit and your soul. You're just in an ego-driven type of energy. If it's not you, it's energies around you. You've already experienced enough to gain observation of what it is that's going on around you when it comes to the life you've lived, Devil in reverse, that it's time to step away from. Feel me? Especially if you're in a position where when it comes to your voice, your expression, and how assertive you are, people can't handle that. Wait a minute. Have you been ignoring somebody lately? So you've been ignoring your intuition, because my ears just went out as if you're okay. Okay, that's what that is then. So the way it went out is when you're on a plane and you're in that high altitude, you lower your vibration to be around energy that is toxic. You can choose to stop doing that, You know what I'm saying? Oh, the comments is so collective. I took a little nugget from all. Yes. Ashe. Ashe. Let me see. For the Ace of Wands and the Death card, Ace of Wands is a reawakening, rebirth. Also has to do with inventions. And with the Death card as a choice, it means you're ready to transform, get into your Christ consciousness energy, where you are walking in this Christ vibration. It's as if you're floating, okay? You're no longer afraid or putting that behind you. You're walking in your power now. Let's see. For that Ace of Wands and transformation. Let's see. I'm gonna get on your ass the way I did at the beginning, but just know it's really all love. I'm not the type for anyone who want to waste their time and want to sit in something for so long. I would say ask people from our past, but you can't even do that because I don't have them around for you to ask. I don't play that type of shit. I don't care who you are, mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, whomever. You are not on that type of energy and level that I feel as though is connected to unconditional love, evolving and not carrying on this stress that literally fucks up the human body. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm telling you. Even if I was to bring them up here, I mean, me's my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, whatever. If I was to bring them up here, they would literally tell y'all that. They will literally tell you that. Alba. If your energy fucked up, you're not gonna see us. For real. Because I know how I can get. I would rather walk away than to tear somebody's ass up with my words. Because as a Sag and a Mercury in Sag with the Mars in Aries and the Venus in Scorpio, oh, I'm going to get to the depths of your soul, to the pits of your soul, where you thought it couldn't go any deeper than that. I'm going to go even deeper than that. And I'm going to speak to that vessel, that energy. So I'd rather just walk away. Ace of Wands with the Death card. I'm telling you, intelligence, that's lit. Wow. You've been writing. Yeah, you ready to complete a cycle, 45-9. That's going to lead to your flexibility. For you, love, with Ace of Wands and Death, I would say, because I just felt the energy of nervousness, know that you're prepared. Shout out to Coach Dennis Mitchell, the coach that Sha'Carri Richardson, who's Sha'Carri Richardson's coach. And if you know her story, she's an Aries. Aries is the spiritual warrior. Her story, where she landed on the team but couldn't go to the Olympics the first time because of something that happened, and everybody lost faith in her. And that's just moving on from that story in terms of who she is now. And those same people probably got their fucking jaws in the abyss because talking about she will never won 2020, that she'll never make it, da 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 da. Now you see her with all these deals. Some of them who talk shit about her literally see her when they go shopping at a Nike store, got her picture all up in that motherfucker. Yeah, keep talking. I said, you know what? You know what I did when that situation was happening? Everybody that had something to say about her, because I felt her on that. You know what I'm saying? I felt where she was coming from, her journey, and all the shit that comes with being and going into, pro athleticism, things of that nature. I said, I'm blocking every fucking body. I kid you not. Majority of those people that I blocked, but happened to see them in other pages because of a mutual connection. When I see them now, they have no light to them. It's just, they appear dry and just tired looking and shit. So walk in your power. Shout out once again to Coach Dennis Mitchell, which is her coach, who says, you're only nervous when you're not prepared. And for you, the message is you have the intelligence. Intelligence is the experiences, the lessons that you went through where you had to turn on the lesser part of you so much so to learn the lesson, the lower level less in terms of the lower chakras. You have to turn those on in order for you to, you know what I'm saying, to turn on that intelligence, as you should. Shout out to you. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. We did that. Tower. For the tower to, oh shit. Mind you, look at that. Look at that shit there. I didn't even peep that. Communication. Number 3, action. Wow. It's time to make that move, because that's also connected to that Ace of Wands energy there too. You went from the root to the crown. Full access, fully calibrated, recalibrated. And there's also new relationships coming in for you as well. So the only thing you got to do is trust and know that you're ready. Not AI is showing up here. There could be a use of AI that could also be of assistance to you in terms of, and then it says 3, 4, 5. So you're literally going from the solar plexus to speaking your truth. Hey. I'm gonna put up in the community tab the download that I got completely from the black and white cap with LVL 996, because you literally have that the way I stated it at the beginning. In order to get to the next level, the next completion of a cycle, all you have to take is one step that is 3 steps. And you chose the death card. Wow, 13. I love that. Tower. For the tower. For the tower. For the tower. Guidance, insight. Well. And this is tower card energy in terms of a sudden shift of the dome. You're one who has to leave your old mindset behind. You gotta leave that shit where it's at. I wouldn't even say bury it. Dissolve that motherfucker, because it's only gonna continuously put you in triggering situations. Because I know, you know, in Aquarius rising, Saturn and Aries, what it says, 3rd house. If it's not the truth, don't say anything. So if something is not happening yet, don't let that shit come out your mouth. Because your words, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, while Saturn is in Aries in your 3rd house, your words are reality bending. Do not play around with that, because that is some serious, your word is your bond type of energy. And with guidance and insight here, you better utilize the guidance and the insight that you receive wisely. And you see this chart wheel. You want to get real familiar with what's going on in your chart in situations that you encounter, to know how to handle it instead of dealing with situations. And get more centered, so that way whatever it is that you are invoking can actually come to fruition, and you're not in this in-between as soon as you're tested. Okay? Look at this. Passion. Because what you're passionate about and what your purpose is what you're bringing into fruition. And passion is also connected to desire. Focus on more of what it is that you desire, and not have your mind and your subconscious connected to what it is that you don't want, what you're fearing, all this other stuff. Because as long as you're saying that, Aquarius energy, you're going to create it. Think of everything you say as if there was a quote-unquote wishing star that passed by you. If that wishing star passed by you, not even if, whatever you're about to say within you, before you even say within your mind, because that's where it starts. You have to be able to make that decision within you. As soon as something is about to approach you that makes you feel uncomfortable, you have to decide right then and there which path you're going to take. You're going to feed the shit that is obviously showing itself, which is already part of the past. If something is showing itself to you in reality, in your physical reality, just know that's part of your past. Because if what it is that you're calling in as a manifestation is still sitting in the vortex of your desires, that is part of your past that you're calling in. What's in your physical reality is a past that has already happened. So it's something that you've already called in that is a result as to what it is that you're seeing. So if you want to change everything that's going on, you gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, have that deep conversation with yourself daily, especially in moments where you feel tested. You know what I'm saying? Preparation is the key. Ashe. Chevrolet, what is you talking about? Where you come from? Nah, Five of Wands. Five of Wands reverse came to mind. Five of Wands reverse came to mind. Insight. Let's see if that comes back out. But that's 40. That's 42/6. Okay. Yeah, that's speaking to what's going on as far as your physical reality as well. That came out, popped out, because there's a message in what was said before for you as well. Five of Wands reverse. With that 6 energy, Virgo, is a habit that you used to have with it being in reverse, where you're no longer expecting, okay? Expecting because you're no longer accepting these weak ass challenges when it comes to your willpower, and you're possibly going through the final test of it, where you're no longer allowing yourself to be pressured or feel some type of way when it comes to people who clearly show themselves as wanting to compete with you or have something to say when it comes to when you trust your gut and you make a certain move, and then they want to come with a concern, which is a level of doubt because they may feel that they're not able to do something, so they're concerned as to why you're doing it when what you eat don't make them shit, basically. You may have to put your foot down when it comes to, it's coming across as possibly you being soft spoken, and are you soft spoken? Do you find yourself holding yourself back? You may want to chill on the liquor or whoever drinks often. Just smell alcohol. This could be you or who I'm going to next with the 9 of Pentacles. Alcohol could be significant. Forgiveness. 5 of Wands in reverse. Wow. Letting go, healing, growth, compassion with throat chakra. Speaking of soft spoken. 5 of Wands reverse. That's you, Amina. Let's see. Definitely received the messages, and yes, I was. Now I've been louder and people call me aggressive. Yeah, I can smell it. So before you take a sip of anything, there's obviously a feeling that you get when it's coming through as liquid courage, where you are, okay, that's where I thought that insight card was 47, but they were showing me 11. So balance out where you were, soft spoken, but still be assertive. You're gonna have to reflect on what confirmation. You're gonna have to reflect on what's causing you to get in that energy. 7 of Wands is 820 right now. 7 of Wands, yeah. Because it's something you're doing to escape from the way you feel. It's an intense feeling that you get, and it's basically you using it to escape from that feeling instead of feeling it. So that way you can handle it instead of using the alcohol to deal with it. Especially if it has something to do with you forgiving something or someone or yourself. Now, this could also be where you have to, disconnect from people who can't handle you being assertive, but you know within your heart of hearts and your intention that you're not doing something to be disrespectful. It's just you speaking up. If people feel offended by that and they were more comfortable with you being quiet, but you speaking up is allowing you to express yourself, unfortunately, these are situations you're going to have to cut the cord or disconnect from. With forgiveness, though, by you just seeing it from a higher perspective that, okay, when you wasn't doing something for yourself the way you had to, they was okay with it. But now that you're speaking up, it's a problem. Just know that whenever you don't express yourself, there goes the 11 there, 29. Whenever you don't express yourself, that causes thyroid issues. You don't need that. You know? The 5 of Pentacles and, 7 of Pentacles and 7 of Wands is coming through here with the 5 of 11. You've put the investment in yourself. It's not for you to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you're clearing yourself from this energy before this new moon in Cancer. 823, 623. Temper yourself. 8 and 6, 23, 5. So the changes can actually, and you chose a 5. Forgive yourself. Because I'm getting this energy of you being soft-spoken and you feeling so bad when people tell you or you're being too aggressive. Especially if you come from a place where you were soft-spoken. Faith. Wow. 12. 5, 12. 5, 6. 8. It's time for you to call your strength back through forgiveness. Because the reason why you're drinking a lot more is because you're refraining from feeling and connecting to your heart. And the truth of, the way you feel about a situation and what's being said and what's being taken in a way that is not the intention per se. I receive, I'm listening. The way everything is confirmed, I had always had a hard time speaking up. And I always feel bad when I do. It's always been a battle to be heard. And as you said, when I finally say something they can't handle it, my faith had kept me afloat. Wow. You require, I'm not going to say you need, but you certainly require moments to yourself right now around nature, putting your feet in the grass, getting by a body of water as often as you can, you know. And may the alignment be so in tune that when you choose to do that, I go live. So that way it seems as though you got, you know, that positive energy with you. Okay. When y'all are working on forgiveness, the key is to, because you're obviously going to have to feel through or hear the echoes or sense the echoes of the situation that occurred that you are forgiving. But this is what I would say to y'all before in regards to being the observer and not the one that is experiencing it. Do what you can do in terms of, okay, be in the energy of seeing yourself reflecting back on this moment, already forgiving everything that has happened. So much so you look at it from a higher perspective that you can talk to someone about it that's going through that situation to get them out of it or to help them evolve from that. But be that person for yourself in terms of when you're, you know, going through a level of forgiveness. Because you should be able to get to a point in terms of forgiveness where that's literally what you feel. It's a deep inhale, exhale. You should feel much lighter when you are actually in the position of forgiveness. You know, allow whatever tears have to flow, because those tears are in connection to the self or the selves that were part of the experience that you are practicing forgiveness for now. You know, when you're practicing something or strengthening that muscle of it, is something you do daily. Now, you may not do the same exercise all the time, but you're doing something in regards to what keeps you in the space of love about even the experiences you've had in the past. For some, it may be a little bit more challenging than others, but it can be done. To choose not to do it is a different story. Only thing that's going to do is build up bitterness, disappointment, and that is literally causing toxins to sit in your body, and now you're getting puffy, you're gaining weight, you have a loss of appetite, but you're still gaining weight, your back hurting. When it's time for your cycle, your cramps be ODing, just a whole bunch of shit that just be. So yes, what was at the bottom? The sacral chakra. Okay. So that has to do with creativity, sexuality, and the way you flow with energy. So whatever maternal wounds you have to forgive, do that. See yourself as the one that was chosen to break the cycle, not to keep it going. Especially, let's say this has something to do with, you know, with a feminine figure, maternal figure. She may have gone through an experience that you're unaware of, that she's never really spoken about. And if she spoke about it, 141, if she's spoken about it, wasn't fully. There were things said where she was possibly defending herself and telling you the story, where she was defending herself from her parent or whatever cycle she went through. You know, so, yeah. All right, final lines in reverse. Next, we have 9 of Pentacles, chosen by Donnie. Choosing the 9 of Pentacles when it comes to clarifying the 9 of Wands with the 8 of Cups and the King of Cups. Walking away from something where your spirit guides and ancestors, is the reason why I'm saying this over again. Okay, where your spirit guides and ancestors have been blocking something out of your life for you to walk away from it, or blocking it out of your life where the situation has walked away from you, that you were emotionally invested in. We have honesty that's showing up here. You chose Nine of Pentacles. Now, the Nine of Pentacles, that's Venus in Virgo. So you may have been in a situation where your ancestors have protected you either by someone walking away from you, or you walking away from a situation or significant relationship, whether this is career, family, or love, because you were overdoing it, where you were investing your energy in. It wasn't going to be something that was going to connect to generational wealth or a level of support that was in connection to how much you were giving into the energy, with the way you love to provide service for a person or love to assist someone. Coño. Love. Something here about loyalty. Kindness, sharing, receiving. You're so welcome, Amina. You're so welcome. Another 6 we have coming up here, heart chakra. Is Donnie still here? $144.04. It literally stopped, slow down at 04. Something about the foundation, something about the home. Something that started at home. Honesty is here. There's 31.4. Okay. This is for choosing that Nine of Pentacles, which also has to do with independence, presence. And it's number 44, confirming that. Okay. So that definitely is, certainly is a message here in regards to having angels, angles of light. 833. Choosing the Nine of Pentacles is giving off an energy of an ascended master. You have an awakening of divine perception, where now it's time to trust your inner knowing, what's being shown to you clairvoyantly. Your presence is required, I heard. Where your presence is required and where your presence is needed is the choice that has to be made. Shit. Gut instinct. You could be a Lyran. 19. That's a 10. Your presence is required. So that's coming through as a grid worker type of energy. Your presence lifts the energy of the planet. So this, okay. Well, it seems as though that is an energy that trusts and is aware of when their guidance is coming through, to trust their gut. Or this is what you're being guided to do. They said go to the next. Let me see. Who was at the Nine of Pentacles to see if you're here? Oh wait, I gotta go a little bit up. That was it. Yeah. All right. I spoke something into existence as a child, seeking attention only to have it be a prominent issue as an adult. I was speaking truth. That's what Donnie said earlier. So you do carry a very strong light code frequency, Donnie. Yes, you do. Let me see. Yeah, Chevalier, you're getting blocked. Come up in here talking about nothing we talking about. You don't do that shit. Okay. I picked up on that shit in the previous live. But anywho, not the card confirming truth, awareness, and but yeah, y'all. Okay. So the card that came out was the Queen of Cups in generals, which is basically what we said earlier. All of those messages was basically the sum of what this was all talking about. And I love that she chose, or Donnie chose Nine of Pentacles, because it is that energy, and the way the stories of each of your choices went right to that as the last one. We basically already told the entire story of what's going on. So, got locked for speaking truth. What you mean? Got locked for speaking truth? What you talking about? I told y'all, I better watch what y'all be saying shit. Oh, you did? Hold on. Because what I'm being shown from that is the fact of this occurring in a past life, and the way your truth is being expressed is coming from a defensive place rather than a place of healing. So the way you express that truth and the consequences thereafter is reflecting where you feel locked in inside yourself about the information. Because again, whatever one is experiencing in the external realm is connected to where your subconscious mind is. Even if the information you have is extremely powerful, if you feel you're going to be suppressed by that, that's what will happen. You know? Love, literally. When you express it from a place of love, you go into a different dimension, perception of what it is that's being spoken. I'm hearing clearly it's a repeat. It's a repeat of a cycle. It's a repeat of a cycle. Yeah, the heart chakra, the block of the heart chakra. Lack of love and compassion. Even with the energy of jails and prisons, that's 12th house Pisces energy, which is connected to compassion. So, home. Something in regards to not ever feeling nurtured or at home, or feeling wherever you were resting, not being able to be comfortable in that position. It just kept building up. You have truth to state, but the truth comes out toxic. You know? Without love, it's just pouring a cup of poison. You're welcome. Get back to being at home with yourself. Get back to being at home with yourself so your energy and your environment can shift. That heart chakra, you're going to have to work on that. Big time. 22. I love the fact that in this deck, the heart chakra is 22. And when it comes to understanding, that's a personal affair. Understanding, you should never force anyone to understand you. That's exactly what causes arguments or confrontation or debates. It's the push for someone to understand you. When you understand yourself and you notice that there's an energy around you that is in a state of confusion, because God is not confusion. If you have an energy that is around you in a state of confusion, obviously you should already know that it's something that's not aligned to and with you. Therefore, there's a lack of understanding. And to push that, there are consequences for that. When you are doing the understanding of self, what you're doing is connecting to what stands under your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is requiring the work of your foundation when it comes to your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus. The root having to do with the home showing up here, your sense of security, basic trust, and grounding. Without that, now you're entering and creating situations that are toxic, sacral, or connecting with people in a toxic way, whether if it's having to do with your creation, sexuality, or, you know, instead of you flowing with the information that you have, now it's stagnant. Now, when it comes to your solar plexus, when you are misusing that, which is the I can, I will, if you are using your solar plexus and it's not standing on a solid foundation of your sacral and your root chakra, now you're doing whatever you can and will do from a space of defending yourself, and that can become aggressive. You know? Now, let's say when you were speaking the truth, it wasn't something that was aggressive. It was just the people around were intimidated by you. It's just that you are now placing yourself in a position where there's a lack of awareness when it comes to what is in direct alignment and vibration with you. You know, you don't have to be completely silent, but know when and when not to, basically. Unless you got your own channel. That's a different story. You can say whatever you want to say, but speak it from a space of love, compassion, and truth. Before I get off of this, does anyone else want to choose a card, a tarot card? Because what we was doing with the collective just now, if you just came through, so no? Okay, we'll do that next time. We'll do it next time in the next live. It was a pleasure. Infinite gratitude to all of you, okay? I love you all. Know that unconditionally. You know what I'm saying? And I meant what I said in the beginning of this live, because I'm not going to be wasting my time, and I don't want y'all wasting y'all time. If there's something that resonates with you, once again, I said I love you unconditionally. If there is a message that you receive from anything that I deliver and it resonates with you and you feel it within your soul that this is going to help you to shift, make those adjustments. Don't wait till the next day, next week, whatever, all this other extra bullshit. Make the changes from the time you receive it, because it'll be fresh in your vessel, in your soul, in your spirit, and now you can keep moving with that momentum. Because if you put it off, how many times do you put off, oh, I'm gonna go work out, and then it goes from I'm gonna go work out tomorrow to you don't work out that whole fucking year. There goes your inspiration for the evening. Follow your dreams. And I love you infinitely. All right? Take care of yourself, darling.